aura is often what makes a specific character beloved and goated. Sometimes it can even make or break a character. But how can we actually measure something so intangible? We can measure a character's aura by looking at how impactful their presence is, their feats and abilities, their personal story, the intimidation factor he has against other characters, and of course, their most memorable moments. Keep in mind that in comparison to other anime characters, all of these characters would absolutely blow past them by miles. So now let's get started with the video. At 8th place we have Goku when he's serious. Normally, Goku is cheerful, goofy, and lighthearted. He's the kind of guy that doesn't take his enemies seriously and treats battles like a game. However, when he does decide to get serious, everything his enemies know about him changes. The carefree fighter everyone knows disappears, and what's left is a focused fighter who radiates a calm but overwhelming presence. Even his friends can feel it. They know that when Goku isn't smiling anymore, the fight has entered a completely different stage. One of the earliest examples of this is during the Saiyan saga. When Goku arrives on Earth to face Nappa, he doesn't even break a sweat, casually blocking his attacks that were overwhelming his friends moments ago. But the real aura moment comes when he locks eyes with Vegeta. The camera focuses on Goku's face as his expression hardens, and you can literally see Vegeta's confidence crack. The proud Saiyan prince who had been toying with Earth's defenders suddenly realizes he's facing someone who can actually challenge him. Vegeta's shocked expression speaks volumes about the pressure Goku's serious aura creates. Later, on Namek, when Frieza kills Krillin, we witness perhaps the most iconic aura shift in anime history. The moment starts with Goku's anguished scream, but then something changes. The camera shows Goku shaken to his core, and then suddenly debris starts floating around him. His hair flickers between black and gold, and when he finally looks up at Frieza, his eyes are completely cold. No anger, no emotion, just deadly focus. Frieza, who had been smugly confident seconds before, actually stutters. The Emperor of the Universe, who had never shown fear, begins sweating as Goku's Super Saiyan power erupts around him. This transformation isn't just visual, you can feel the shift in power dynamics. Suddenly, Frieza is no longer the predator, he's become the prey. Even in Dragon Ball Super, this pattern continues. During the Tournament of Power, when Jiren seems unstoppable, Goku's mastery of Ultra Instinct showcases his ultimate power. The way he moves with perfect calm, while dodging attacks that can destroy solar systems. The way even Jiren, who had been treating everyone like insects, starts showing genuine surprise and respect. Even the deities themselves stand up in the stands because they recognize they're witnessing something extraordinary. That's what makes Goku's aura so unique. It doesn't come from being cruel or menacing, but from the sheer certainty that once he gets serious, there's an unmovable force behind those calm eyes.
Feel pain, accept pain, and know pain.
Those who do not know pain will never understand true peace.
At 7th place, we have Pain. Pain's aura is built on absolute conviction and devastating power. But what makes him truly terrifying is that he genuinely believes he's doing the right thing. He isn't a villain chasing greed or revenge. He sees himself as the ultimate being who will bring about peace through pain. That unshakable certainty makes every word he speaks like a divine judgment. From the moment Pain appears, his presence radiates otherworldly authority. The 6 paths moving in perfect synchronization, each with those haunting Renegon eyes. It's not just the visual, but the way he carries himself, calm, deliberate, and never rushed, as if he already knows how everything will end. The assault on Konoha is the ultimate showcase of that aura. Pain doesn't just sneak in or hide. Once inside the village, cuts through its defenders with terrifying efficiency. Even Kakashi, one of Konoha's strongest and most respected shinobi, throws everything he has at Pain, only to realize that he cannot match the overwhelming abilities of the Renegon. Pain defeats him with chilling calm, never once breaking composure. Then comes the moment that truly defines him. Floating above the hidden leaf, Pain delivers his ultimatum about Naruto, his voice carrying the weight of a deity passing judgment, and his words echo.
This world shall know pain. Almighty push!
With a single technique, he levels the entire village in seconds. Thousands of lives erased in an instant. It's one of the most chilling displays of power in anime. Even when Naruto returns in Sage mode and manages to destroy several bodies of Pain, that aura doesn't break. Pain doesn't panic or lash out of anger. He adapts, escalates, and continues speaking with the same unshakable certainty that his path is the only way forward. What makes Pain's aura unforgettable is that blend of overwhelming power and genuine conviction. He isn't just strong, he's a force of nature who believes he's delivering necessary justice to a broken world. That combination of deity-like ability and unwavering ideology creates an aura that's both terrifying and tragically compelling. At sixth place, we have Gojo. Gojo's aura is built on one simple truth. He knows he's the strongest, and he's not even trying to hide it. Unlike other powerful characters who carry the weight of their abilities seriously, Gojo treats his overwhelming strength like it's another Tuesday. This casual confidence in the face of deadly situations creates an aura that's both infuriating to his enemies and absolutely magnetic to his viewers. From his very first appearance, Gojo makes it clear that he operates on a completely different level. He strolls into deadly battles with a smile, cracking jokes as if nothing is at stake. For everyone else, these fights are life or death. For Gojo, they're just warm-ups. The Shibuya incident arc showcases his aura at its peak. When Gojo is trapped inside the Shibuya station, surrounded by transfigured humans and multiple special grade curses, he doesn't even panic or look worried at all, instead treating the situation like an interesting challenge. Even his enemies recognize this aura. Sukuna, the king of curses, acknowledges Gojo as a true rival. Cursed spirits that have terrorized humanity for centuries look at him and feel something rare. Genuine concern. Gojo's very presence shifts the balance of conflicts. His power isn't just physical, it's psychological. The kind of dominance that makes even the strongest hesitate. Gojo's aura doesn't come from menace or mystery. It comes from being so above everyone else that he can afford to be relaxed, playful, and completely honest about his abilities. When someone can face the worst curses in existence with a grin and casual conversation, that aura is both inspiring and terrifying.
Itachi Uchiha.
At fifth place, we have Itachi. In the original Naruto series, Itachi doesn't actually get that much screen time early on, since most of his story happens before the events of episode 1. But despite that, his presence is felt long before he truly steps into spotlight, through vague flashbacks and memories that Sasuke would have. From childhood, Itachi was a prodigy. He breezed through the Chunin exams and was recruited into the Anbu Black Ops at only 11 years old. In fact, he was so far ahead of his peers that Danzo and the third Hokage had to falsify his age from 12 to 13 just so he could be promoted to Anbu captain. At this point, Itachi's reputation was legendary. Even the third Hokage admits at age 7 Itachi thought like a Hokage, executing all his missions perfectly. More so when the first Hokage was revived and heard about Itachi. He claimed that Itachi was a greater shinobi than he was, which goes to show how legendary Itachi's aura is. Just a year later, Itachi was forced into one of the most darkest moments in Naruto, the Uchiha Massacre. Almost overnight, he went from being seen as a prodigy of Konohana to being branded a traitor who slaughtered his entire clan. But what the world didn't know was that Itachi's betrayal was an impossible choice he made to protect the rest of the village and, most importantly, his younger brother Sasuke. To guarantee Sasuke's safety, Itachi struck a deal with Danzo, warning him that if any harm came to his brother, he would expose the Leaf's darkest secrets to every enemy nation. That action showcased his true character, one of strong moral values and that of someone courageous. When Itachi first appeared in the story, he lived up to the legend immediately. With just his Sharingan, he casually dismantled 3 Jonin level ninja, Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma, without even trying. His composure, his calm tone, and his effortlessly dominance made him feel like someone completely untouchable. But his aura didn't just stop there. Throughout Naruto Shippuden, every time Itachi appeared, he carried that same intimidating presence. Whether it was humiliating Orochimaru, defeating Deidara, or facing Sasuke in their long-awaited battle, Itachi always maintained that aura of someone in complete control. After Itachi's death, Obito revealed the truth to Sasuke. Itachi lived as a villain, died as a villain, and only in death was his true character revealed. That revelation completely reshaped how fans and Sasuke himself viewed him. What was once fear and hatred turned into respect, sorrow, and admiration. Itachi's aura wasn't just built on power, but on sacrifice, mystery, and the kind of legacy that makes him unforgettable. At 4th place, we have Shanks. Now Shanks might have the least screen time among the Yonka, but when it comes to pure aura, nobody in One Piece commands respect quite like Red Hair Shanks. His immense power in all 3 forms of Haki make him in a completely different league against every single person in the world, from Marines, pirates, and even revolutionaries. But what makes Shanks' aura so incredible is how effortlessly he commands authority without ever needing to prove it. When he appears during the war at Marineford, he only drew his sword to stop Akainu from killing Kobe, and then simply stood on the battlefield, and all of the Marines, pirates, and warlords came to a complete stop. Blackbeard, who had just gained Whitebeard's power and was feeling invincible, takes one good look at Shanks and decides that it's time for him and his crew to leave. When Shanks declared that anyone who wanted to fight further should fight him and his crew instead, all of the Marines, including the Admirals and Son Goku, all decided to end the war and have a ceasefire with the pirates. That's not just respect, that's fear wrapped in respect. The most telling example of Shanks' aura comes from his meeting with Whitebeard. When their ships approach one another, Whitebeard's crew, seasoned veterans who have sailed with the world's strongest man, start collapsing from Shanks' presence. His Conqueror's Haki was so overwhelming that it physically damages Whitebeard's ship just by being there. And when they finally meet face to face, these 2 legends clash so powerfully that the sky itself splits in half. But what's incredible is that throughout this entire encounter, Shanks remains completely calm and conversational, like he's catching up with an old friend rather than facing one of the most dangerous men alive. But perhaps the most aura-defining moment of Shanks is how he carries himself in everyday situations. He's not constantly serious or brooding like the other Yonko. He parties, he drinks, he laughs with his crew. Yet, underneath that laid-back exterior, everyone knows that there's an overwhelming power that he chooses not to unleash. In spite of being a serious threat, he has a genuine and kind personality that makes him beloved by his allies. When Shanks saved Luffy as a kid and lost his arm to the Sea King, he didn't show anger or regret. He smiled and told Luffy that it was a small price to pay. That moment encapsulates his entire aura. Someone so powerful that losing a limb is just a minor inconvenience, but so principled that he'll make a sacrifice for what he believes in. That combination of overwhelming power and unshakable values creates an aura that makes everyone in the One Piece world stop and listen when red-haired Shanks has something to say.
I am the ghost of the Uchiha. Madara Uchiha.
At 3rd place, we have Madara. Madara's aura is built on something most anime characters can only dream of, living up to impossible expectations. For hundreds of episodes in Naruto Shippuden, his name is whispered like a curse. He's the boogeyman of the shinobi world. The legendary figure so powerful that even the hardened ninja hesitate to speak of him. And when he finally appears, he doesn't just meet those expectations, he obliterates them. During the 4th Great Ninja War, Madara steps onto the battlefield alone and immediately turns the tide. Just his appearance with the long flowing hair and crimson armor shifts the entire atmosphere. Everyone realizes that they aren't just facing a man, they're facing a natural disaster. His first act of dominance, taking on all 80,000 shinobi at once. He treats them like nothing, and Madara calmly cuts through their ranks as if he's swatting flies. It's one of the most lopsided massacres in anime history. And afterwards, Madara takes on the 5 Kaji, the strongest leaders of the ninja world, all at once, and defeats them so decisively that it feels like a warm-up. And then he decides to take it further. Madara summons his perfect Susanoo, a towering mountain-sized warrior with swords bigger than skyscrapers. The allied forces' attacks barely scratch it. When facing Might Guy's 8th gate, a form that sacrifices the user's life to achieve insane power, Madara doesn't panic. He smiles. He respects Guy's strength and calls him the greatest taijutsu user he's ever faced. That's not arrogance. That's confidence so absolute it becomes terrifying. Madara's aura is the embodiment of overwhelming strength and unshakable composure. He doesn't need to rage or scream to dominate. His mere presence bends the battlefield around him. When Madara appears, strategies crumble, morale collapses, and even the strongest shinobi question if victory is even possible. He fought alone against 80,000 shinobi and made the entire world realize what true dominance looks like.
ようこそ私のソウルソサエティへ
At second place, we have Aizen. Aizen's aura is perhaps the most terrifying in all of anime. It's built on the slow, horrifying realization that everything you thought you knew was a lie. This isn't just a powerful villain. This is someone who has been orchestrating events from the shadows for decades, manipulating friends and enemies alike with such masterful precision that even when his plans are revealed, you're still not sure what's real anymore. From the moment Aizen reveals his true nature, everything about his presence changes. The gentle, soft-spoken captain who seemed genuinely kind is revealed to be a calculating genius who views everyone around him like pieces on a chessboard. But what makes his aura so chilling isn't just the betrayal. It's how effortlessly he's been playing everyone. When he removes his glasses and slicks back his hair, it's the moment that the mask comes off and you see the real Aizen for the first time. The fake Kakura Town arc showcases Aizen's aura at its peak. He arrives to face Shensui, Shinji, and Yamamoto, and he's not just confident, he's calm, as if he knows there's no chance of him being beaten. When multiple captains attack him simultaneously, he blocks their attacks, commenting on their techniques like a teacher correcting his students. The way he casually stops Ichigo's sword with one hand shows a level of casual dominance that's almost insulting to his opponents. Aizen's true aura moment comes with the revelation of his Zanpakuto's power. It completely controls all 5 senses, meaning that anyone who has seen its release is forever under Aizen's influence. The horrifying realization dawns on every Soul Reaper that they can't trust their own perceptions. Every battle they fought, every victory that they thought they achieved could have been exactly what Aizen wanted them to experience. That level of mental manipulation creates an aura of paranoia and helplessness that's even more terrifying than any physical threat. When Aizen transforms through the Hogyoku's power, his aura evolves from psychological manipulation to divine transcendence, and his attitude reflects this change. His arrogance becomes amplified. Soul Reapers become insects to him that he barely acknowledges. It just shows how rapidly he's ascending beyond their level of existence. Even when facing Ichigo, Aizen's aura remains unshakable. When Ichigo's attack actually damages him, Aizen's reaction isn't fear or anger. It's fascination. He's genuinely curious about how a human can achieve such power. What makes Aizen's aura so memorable is how he operates on multiple levels simultaneously. There is the intellectual superiority of someone who has outplanned everyone around him, the casual physical dominance of overwhelming power, and the existential horror of never knowing what's real when facing someone who controls perception itself. Even after his defeat and imprisonment, his aura persists. The Soul Society keeps him locked away because they know that even bound and powerless, Sasuke Aizen's mind is still dangerous enough to threaten the very balance of worlds.
Last but not least,
The one! The only!
And finally, at first place, we have King from One Punch Man. King possesses the most terrifying aura in all of anime, and the most incredible part is that it's built on absolutely nothing. King has zero combat ability, no superpowers at all, and yet his aura is so overwhelming that some of the most dangerous monsters in existence show genuine fear. This is psychological warfare perfected to an art form. Now officially, King is ranked as the 7th strongest S-class hero and holds the title Strongest Man on Earth. His supposed feats include single-handedly defeating multiple dragon-level threats and being the only superhero that monsters actively avoid. The reality, every single victory attributed to King was actually Saitama's work. King just had the incredible misfortune of being at the wrong place at the right time, over and over again. But here's where King's accidental genius shines, his involuntary King engine. When King gets terrified, which is constantly, his heart starts beating so loudly that people around him can hear it. But instead of recognizing this as fear, everyone interprets it as King powering up for battle, like some kind of pre-fight ritual. The more scared King gets, the more intimidating this sound becomes. The ultimate demonstration of King's aura comes during his encounter with the Monster Association's top threats. With there being over 54 trillion of them, they don't immediately attack, they hesitate, and uncertainty about engaging him. Think about how insane this is. Golden S just finished ragdolling Atomic Samurai and other top heroes like they were children. Homeless Emperor had been confidently erasing heroes with his light orbs. King has achieved something that genuinely powerful characters struggle with. His reputation precedes him so effectively that fights end before they begin. The most terrifying aspect of King's aura is that it reveals a fundamental truth about power. The idea of strength is more effective than strength itself. King's legend has become so powerful that it functions as reality. He's accidentally created the ultimate psychological weapon, an aura so overwhelming that it makes some of the strongest beings in existence defeat themselves through fear alone.